Everybody's isolated. That's fine. In the midst of COVID and while everybody else was, um, was with their loved ones, I was at home alone. And what did I do? I started numbing with alcohol and food and everything. And I sat in a chair every night having a pity party, looking at Facebook, thinking that I was going to always be like that. And then on the night of August 5th, after telling my therapist, all I wanted to do was smile again, I saw a smile on Facebook, and that smile was Mary Caldwell, a friend of mine. And she had this picture, and she was telling everybody that she had found this program that had made her so much happier. And I wanted that. So I reached out to her. She was not an Optavia coach, she was a client. So I'm putting in a plug there for each of you. If your coach asks you if they can use your picture on their page, please let them. Because if it had not been for that, I don't know where I would be today. I honestly don't. In my heart of hearts, I don't know. So if they do, please let them do that. Because if you can help one more person, please just let them use your picture or let them use your success story. Because somebody else is out there who might be curled up in a chair with a big glass of wine, crying her heart out, and needs to see that breath of hope, that sign of hope. So please do that. So I met Brittany and she told me, Donna, I believe in this program. I can help you. And I said, I need to do it. So I just joined that like that. That first time I'd ever heard of it, I joined. And I'll tell you, this has been the best thing I've ever done. My why was to be a healthier person for my children who no longer had two parents. They had one, me, and that was a poor version of me at the time. So I wanted to be a healthier parent, and I wanted to be a more fit and fun Gigi because I had one little grandson, 2 years old at the time. And y'all, I decided, she told me, Donna, if you go, you're going to get to fat burn in 4 days. If you go off plan, it's going to take you $40 to $60 to get back on plan because you've got to go back to the beginning. And I thought, no, no, I'm not doing that because number one, no drink or of alcohol or anything's worth $40 to $60. And so I decided the only thing I could control in my life at that time was to stick to this plan, what I put in my mouth. So even on the night that I joined, I decided this is the last night I'm going to sit here and numb myself. God has blessed me with this hope, and I'm going to go for it right now. So I stopped drinking. I stopped drinking that night, and I started looking at all of Brittany's little texts that she was sending me and thinking about what I needed, how I wanted to feel, and all of that. And y'all, when I started 1 week later on a Wednesday, I know we're supposed to start on a Monday, but I was so desperate, I started on a Wednesday because during COVID, nobody's going anywhere anyway, because so weekends were kind of like weekdays. So I did Optavia. I did it. I followed it. I mean, I guess I'm an overachiever. I followed it to perfection. And because I could control something and I could control this. So I followed it. And 2 weeks later, I realized that the back pain that I had had for almost 2 decades from herniated disc surgery had disappeared. I realized I was feeling hopeful again. I realized I had energy. I realized I was feeling more confident and hopeful and optimistic. So these things were all blessings for me. And I'm seeing people saying that they started Tuesday or started Friday. Y'all, that just makes my heart so, so happy. And I have told people before, since coaching, oh my gosh, every time I hear another person having a success story, it's like a stitch is added to my heart. This has truly been the piece that helped my heart heal. It's been phenomenal. Y'all, I can go into my closet and I can pick up something that I bought almost 5 years ago, put it on my body, and it still fits. It still fits. I mean, that still blows my mind. That was never guaranteed for me. I can go to an event without having to try on 100 things and wearing a Spanx. I can even shed layers of clothing this time of year without panicking because y'all, I just want you to write connected in the chat if you understand this. I have been on a hot spring day, so hot, in my cardigan and my Spanx and my shirt and my layers. And people would say to me, Donna, aren't you hot? And I would say, oh, no, I'm not hot. I had sweat running down my back, y'all. I had sweat running down my back, but I would not release that layer. And I see some other people get it. Have been there. Like I tell people all the time, people are always saying when they start with me, Donna, but I am an emotional eater. Donna, I can't. I'm always failing. Donna, I hope I can do this. I'm like, y'all, we are like the little figures on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in the Land of Misfit Toys. We've all been broken. We've all had horrible situations happen to us. We've all used terrible habits to try to work through those situations. But y'all, we finally found something that works. And we finally found a community that's right here with us that is just the best of the best. So we are fixing ourselves and we are going to figure this out. So, something about me. I am a procrastinator. I don't like numbers. And I was up till 3:30 a.m. night before last working on my taxes. And I have been, and I thought, oh my gosh, when I was asked to do this today, because I thought I was going to do it Sunday, and Rebecca Sodak and I switched places. I thought, Lord, I'm going to be so tired. But y'all, I'm in fat burn. I started the fat burn blitz Monday. And the reason I started it, I'm going to tell you something else. I struggle with being alone. I struggle with that. And I think it's because of the PTSD from being in that house by myself for 2 years after my husband died. I struggle with being alone. But y'all, there's another part of my story. 2 years ago, I was reunited with someone from my past, and we got married last year. And I just am so grateful that I have someone else in my life. Not that my first husband will ever not be a part of me, but I'm so grateful that I have someone else to do life with. But he travels with his job, so he is gone for 2 weeks, and I started thinking about him going, and that big gray cloud was growing and growing and growing, and I thought, I'm going to go back to my habits. So I said, heck no, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to do a fat burn blitz, because if I do a fat burn blitz, I don't have an option to do these things. I mean, I'm going to be strict. So I love a fat burn blitz because it's a reset. And if somebody wants to know what a fat burn blitz is, it's just going back to the basics. It's just I don't eat bars or the crunchers. I just eat any other fueling. I eat 5 a day. I drink my water. I don't have any condiments. I just go back to the bare minimum, and it's amazing. So even with like 3 hours of sleep 2 nights ago, and don't tell Dr. A because he would not be happy with me doing that. But I did get more sleep last night. But even so, I love the feeling of this program, this Fat Burn Blitz. So thinking about spring, y'all. Okay, and something else I wanted to tell you about that I almost forgot. I just listened to a podcast with Brene Brown and Simon Sinek, and he was saying that we look at things like a definite game, it's definite. And I think that's what happened with me with dieting before. I looked at a definite, like beginning and end, done. But think about Optavia, lifelong transformational journey. It's like Simon Sinek says, it's an infinite game, y'all. We are on an infinite game of success. And y'all, the players are gonna change. We're gonna see different people on the screen every single week as we go through this journey. But the thing is, we all have a goal. We don't know who's going to join us next, which is exciting. But we need to, and also in an infinite game, you stay in the game as long as possible. Y'all, I never want to leave this game. I never want to go back to the person I was before. I love this life so much and this program so much. I never want to go back. Somebody says, do you feel deprived? Heck no. I was deprived for 4 decades. I am ecstatic now. So, no, I have no deprivation. Deprivation is not eating these wonderful fuelings and eating healthy. This is life. I'm finally living again. So the rules are going to change as I go through. I haven't been on the 5-1 for 4.5 years. I met my goal in December of 2020. So I'm always having to look at me and where I am with my exercise and everything, and just change my rules up a little bit, my game up. So the rules are going to change. And I love the fact that he says, enjoy the surprises along the way. Oh my gosh, y'all, I never dreamed. When my coach asked me what my goal was, I was like, well, I'd just like to be this number because I haven't seen that since I was in my 40s. I'm so glad I didn't make that my ending point because it just continued to get better. And now I'm at a weight and health where I just am so excited. So let's go back to thinking about blossoming. Thinking about blossoming. I hope your healthy habits are blossoming. We're going to catch spring fever today. So we're going to get excited about blossoming this spring. First of all, erase these bad words from your head, from your mouth. Kinda. I'm kind of on program. Sometimes I stick to it. I'm doing pretty good. Some days. No, stop ishing it. That doesn't work. I would not feel like I do today if I had been ishing it this week. I feel like I do today because I am on plan and I love it. Um, are you connecting with your coach? I can't say how important that is. You've got to be connected with your coach. Your coach is your lifeline. She's your GPS. She's your Google Maps. She's going to get you to your or he. They're going to get you to your destination, but you've got to be connected. Are you struggling reaching out? If you are, don't keep going down that path. Reach out to your coach. That's what we are here for, to help you get back on track. If you could have done it by yourself before, you would have done it many years ago. You need your coach. You're here on this call. That's phenomenal, y'all. We are here. That's awesome. Go to the Facebook page, add value to that page. Don't complain about the biscuit or whatever. Don't. I'm going to tell you, like I used to tell my sweet little children, first graders, when they went through the cafeteria line. Ooh, I don't like broccoli. Well, honey, you don't say that about broccoli. The next person might like broccoli, and now they're going to think that the broccoli's not good. Broccoli's a good thing. All of these fuelings are good for us. So please don't tell people, don't put on there that you don't like something. Ask your coach about it. We can help you, but there are other options as well. Different people have different taste. And I'll tell you, I have people who, love some of these fuelings I have people that buy 4 and 5 boxes of the mac and cheese, and some people don't like the mac and cheese, but some people love it. They buy 4 and 5 boxes at a time. They love it. So don't say negative things about food. Um, and then number 3, are you into those audibles? If you ask your coach, if you don't have the life book and the habits of health, there are some recordings that we can share with you, and they're awesome. And I just can't say enough about how to, get involved in those, because that's where the magic happens. I had a client one time who told me, Donna, for as long as I can remember, weight has been white noise in my head. And this program's finally silenced it. Now I can focus on more important things. But the reason was they did the work. They did the work in the books. So let's do that. Are you journaling? I'm telling you, I just started back on the 5-1 with my fat burn blitz. I'm journaling everything. And if you look, I even at the end of the day, I write my reflections, tell how I'm feeling so I can remember this. So if I listen to a podcast, if I hear something, I write notes about it on here. That's anything that's going to help me. So um, if anybody has where the recordings can be found, if you can put them in the chat, I'd love that. There's also Kristen. I don't know if Kristen's still leading the life book study on Saturday mornings. If she is, she can put that there. But, or if somebody's asking about recommended podcasts, I can't talk and do that at the same time. But there are wonderful podcasts out there that if any coaches want to put some of your favorite ones on there. But y'all, we are, and I love the fact that Some people get to the messy middle, like their pants are fitting, and then they're feeling a little better about themselves. They're not at their goals yet, so they start saying, Donna, I deserved a donut. I deserved a glass of wine. And y'all, I like to be polite, but my polite answer to that is, you didn't deserve that glass of wine. You didn't deserve that donut. You deserve to feel happy and confident and have a healthy BMI. That's what you deserve. And so let's just commit to this and let's blossom this spring. I just want that so badly for you. Like flowers, we need sunshine. We need energy. This is where we get our energy. Come to these meetings. I tell people all the time, I've been doing this since 2020. And every time I come to one of these little coffee with clients or Sunday Strong things, I hear something new and I'm writing down notes so I can remember that. So write down your notes, and come to these. We need watering. We need fueling ourselves. And so, drink your water. You need mind fuel. Come to these things so we can hear these things. I see somebody, Allison just put the primal potential consistency. Yes, we need to be consistent. Um, we need to prune those flowers. When those flowers, when they have like a little blossom and it gets old and yucky, prune it so all that energy can go to get new life. And y'all, there might be some things in your life that need to be pruned. Think about it. Is something not serving you well? Hmm. Is it hard to go to that Mexican restaurant with your friends as they drink their big margaritas and eat those chips and queso? Is it hard to do that and stay on plan? Well, you might need to think about that. How can you prune that? Well, I know one thing I like to do is to ask when I get to a Mexican restaurant to give me a bowl of like peppers, fresh peppers. And then I will eat the peppers instead of eating, and tell them to keep that other stuff down on their end of the table. And I will drink my club soda, whatever. You're stronger than you think you are. You can do that. Um, and there are some people who are going to rob you of your energy. Prune it. You might want to find some people that you enjoy spending time with more. I'm sorry, Um, people keep us thriving. This is your community. These are your people. These are the people that are going to keep supporting you to the goal. So now I'm going to entertain some questions. Remember, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a doctor or therapist. I love this energy, and I hope you can tell because I love it so much. And I have coached many to their goals. So I would love to support my people, and I love to share my love and energy with you. Um, so I love this saying, and before I forget, because I meant to say this, and I learned this from a client support call. Don't sabotage what you want most for what you want in the moment. So you might want to write that down somewhere. Don't sabotage what you want most for what you want in the moment. So remember that as we go through spring as well. Um, but if you have any questions, I would love to answer. You can go down to reactions at the bottom.